Hi guys, it's Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and today I have Rebecca Caldwell, and I also have my co-host Teresa Sixberry. And today we're going to talk about some drawings that Rebecca had shown me before. And Rebecca, she is a military personnel. She was in the Navy, and let me just have her introduce herself, and then I'll go back to these pictures here. Let me
Hi,
stop
my
here.
hi, my name's Rebecca. I'm also known as Crystal Violet. In other circles. I was in the Navy for 6 years. I got out of the Navy, became a I am drawing a blank here. Slot machine technician. I didn't talk about that one before. I've had a lot of hats. I'm a master of I have a lot of trades. So I've been a sailor, I've been a slot machine technician, a lab tech, all kinds of stuff. I know a lot of things. I know a little bit about a lot. I've also dabbled in art. I am not trained in art. All the paintings and everything, and drawings, have just been just intuitive or whatever comes from my own whatever. I don't know where, because if you ask me to draw anything out of the blue, it's not going to come out good. Because I kind of wonder if I actually channel this information or whatnot. I do have interesting experiences when I do my art as well. Um, uh, I don't know if anybody has any questions for me. I'm not really sure where to go from there.
When did you start doing your, so you did 6 years in the Navy, you did
Yes.
telecommunications.
Mhm.
Oh great, here we go. Let me get out of this meeting because it's okay. So you did 6 years. I wanted, because I know you talked about it a little bit in the other shows about how you were with the 9/11 thing.
Yes.
And I sent you a website where they were talking about this lady that was had postpartum depression, and she had been a nurse, and then comes along this guy, Dr. Cameron. Um, he's given a grant to study the ecological system of the human. She ends up going, her husband, she told her husband, I can't do this. I have postpartum depression. She didn't know it was postpartum depression, but
Mhm.
she says, I feel really depressed. I have to get seen. She ended up getting a sleep study for 30 days. She didn't know it was that. She ended up getting electrocuted, drugged, and they were trying, it's called unpattern. They were trying to depattern her. Gave her all kinds of drugs, and then that's part of the whole MK Ultra, which is K should be for control. It's German, and it's a whole lifetime of the explanation of what they're doing to these patients, which they did to us as super soldiers or special soldiers with the Department of Defense, Navy, whatever, you name it, especially Navy. Navy, that's like the top. What I'm trying to get at is um, there in this site, they talk about that they had black sites. Okay, so when the 9/11 attack happened, they had their excuse, we'll just say,
Mhm.
to work on more of us. Not, they call it that they were trying to say that they were terrorists from whatever country, but
Right.
really the terrorists, as we all know, are here. Us. They mean us.
Right.
As subjects, test subjects. What got my attention, when I was going to my visions about you, I saw that your submarine was a black site of experiments. And I saw that they were feeding you frequencies because what these studies do is they play different kinds of music to depattern us. So, for example, for me at night, before I go to sleep, I hear the Bee Gees. The na 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 na
Right,
the
right.
night one, the yeah, Night
Okay,
Fever.
yeah, yeah,
And during the day, I hear David Bowie. Okay, and he comes to me, and the reason why I
right,
brought him up is because you draw him, and he comes to you
right,
as well.
right.
I wanted you to bring up. Okay, so real quick, the black sites.
Okay.
Before you bring up the book of Ubrick, the black site. What I saw is that while you were sleeping, they were sending those frequencies to you. Sometimes they say back in the day they would put chips coming from the actual pillow, okay? Or they can just be sent through the fan that T.T. Brown made, okay? And then Al Bielek talks about this fan that, I mean, mirror, and it plays like a fan. Your life plays like a
Mhm.
fan from the day you're born, the day you die, everything. That kind of technology is then later placed as a fan. It looks like a fan to auditoriums, to people's homes. It's pretty much cyber attack and psychotronics. Did you experience any kind of DID, any kind of psychedelic, we'll just say, because they've also drugged us. You know that. They gave me the 5-in-1 shot in the Army in 1991. I don't know what they gave you. Any pills, any kind of drinks, you don't know if the food or the drinks. What I saw is, and this is why I tell you, what I saw is in the food and in the drinks, they were drugging you. Also, because I know, why do I know? Because one of my uncles, his first name is Helio, was a Navy person. He was in the military, he was a Navy. He ended up having to leave the Navy because he was drugged with LSD. He was
Mm.
never the same. Now, he told a lot of the families and me, I was young. He was my favorite uncle on my mom's side of the family. We would sit and just, most of the time we were telepathic. He would be there smoking and I would just be there with him. I just loved him, and my other uncles too. But that's what they did to him and a bunch of Navy personnel to see what the effects would be. Now, all this because Aleister Crowley, we talked about how David Bowie
Right.
did a lot of experiments with, right?
Hmm.
The artwork that Aleister Crowley would buy and would have people paint. I don't know if he painted himself, but I did read some information back in 2017 that he would do his rituals through art.
Huh.
Okay, his orgies, whatever you want to call them, satanic crap, whatever, calling up their gods or demons, and then using upon as well, using the children and things like that. So if you don't mind talking about how he comes to you and talk about that book, the Ubrick one, thank you.
Okay. So David Bowie. So we all know that David Bowie died in 2016. I was never a fan of David Bowie. I knew about the Labyrinth. I watched it, I think maybe once. I wasn't really a big fan of it. I still can't watch it. I have a hard time with it. I don't identify as like a fairy like a lot of my friends do, because that's more like fairy type personalities, I think. So anyway, shortly after David Bowie died, I was actually listening to Spotify in my headphones, and there was a David Bowie song that came on that I didn't recognize. But what was really intense about that experience was when the song started coming on, and as it's playing, I am transported onto a stage singing into a microphone with David Bowie as if I'm his friend, and I'm just having a blast. Like we're face to face, and I just want to grab his hair because hair. So during this, I'm actually like having this experience. I'm like, wow, what's happening? This is amazing. And then just as quickly as I'm having this experience, it's gone. And then for like the next 5 years, I'm like, wait, what was that? Was it real? I don't know. I mean, I've had experiences before in the past with spirits and telepathy with my friends and all that stuff. So I really kind of like joked around with my friends, maybe because I had also had an edible at the time as well, so I figured that was probably the catalyst. Um, and so I was always joking around with my friends. I'm like, yeah, I was just David Bowie high. I got so high I saw David Bowie. So 5 years later, I actually went to a psychic fair and I walked up to one of the psychics and I'm like, look, I don't know if I'm delusional, but I just kind of want to know, is David Bowie around me as in spirit and also a couple other celebrities and whatnot? And she's like, yeah, you're not crazy. I know what delusion is. You're not delusional, and yes, he is around you. So I was like, okay. So that actually opened my mind up to experience him more. And when I started experiencing him since 2016, which was in 2021, that was about 3 months prior to that, I actually started painting. And my paintings, most of the paintings that I do is usually just, for me, I think I'm just like putting lines together and I'm coloring them in like coloring in a mandala. Kind of like how people do coloring books just to, um, for relaxation and stuff like that. That's what I was doing. But as I would paint, I would actually either like start hearing his voice or I'd start hearing songs or whatnot. And one particular painting that I was working on, I was actually in the middle of painting, and I'm looking down at the painting, and then right in front of me, like reality kind of like goes dark, and then it's David Bowie and Freddie Mercury standing in front of me as if they're standing on the stage, and they're actually leaning over, holding their hand out, asking me to come up with them, and I'm like, in my head, I'm telling them, I'm still here in the third dimension. I can't do that right now. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I mean, thanks for the invite, but I don't know how to go about doing that. And I've actually been on a quest for quite a few years now to actually be able to consciously astral project. I've been working with the Monroe tapes from the Gateway process. I think my brain's too active really to. I mean, I'm not. I've tried to be hypnotized, and for some reason, I can't go under.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a reason why that I can't go under willingly. But then again, I am also able to get information just like claircognizantly. So I don't need to go under. I think I just like I see stuff in my mind's eye anyway with my eyes open, so I don't really need to go under. But I do want to be able to have conversations with quite a few beings on the other side that people may or may not be aware of. One specifically I want to talk to is Synergy, the crystal skull. So since that skull doesn't actually do readings, I figured I'd see them on the other side.
So here's this one. Is this the David Bowie that you're talking about?
That's one of them. I did time and date them. These particular sketches right here, I was just zoning out and listening to music, so I was following the pencil more than I was actually trying to draw anything specific. I was just tracing, as I was seeing the lines show up on the page, and it wasn't until I was done that I realized what it was. I didn't realize that it actually resembles a lot like Jareth from the Labyrinth, even though it doesn't look like David Bowie, but it does look like Jareth, and it also the little figure that's like the other eye, that kind of looks like Didymus Drake, the one Muppet that was riding on the dog.
Yeah, it does.
So like, it wasn't until after I drew that I'm like, oh hey, this is what this looks like. But as I was drawing it, I was kind of talking to David Bowie in my head and kind of wondering like, what, I actually started feeling more synesthesia as well once I started accepting David Bowie into my consciousness. I don't really know how to describe it.
Yes.
Because he does seem like, yeah, he does seem more telepathic than anything. I wish he would actually. I mean, I hear his voice, but I can't hear him clearly, so it's just like muffled, like on the
Hmm.
other side of the wall. Um,
So I
and
don't know if
so,
you're aware, but a lot of us were paired up with movie stars and singers.
huh?
I was paired up with Morgan Freeman, Johnny Depp, Keanu Reeves, and the athlete was Michael Jordan, believe it or not. I was in a dream where I was teaching him how to do layups. I'm like, what the? This is not what? Because that's my favorite thing to do in the whole world in basketball are layups,
Uh,
left, right, and then boom, boom. Um, Johnny Depp is one of the programmers, especially when I get into we'll just say um, I love vampire movies, okay?
me
So
too.
Dark Shadow, David Bowie is one of my favorite singers. I always sing. There's another one called White Wedding, the other guy.
Oh yeah, Billy Idol.
Yes, Billy
Yeah.
Idol. Billy Idol and David Bowie. Now, David Bowie also there's one song about when it starts with a newspaper boy, na 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 na. Let
Yeah.
me show the other picture. Let me
Okay.
see. How about this one?
That one, I didn't realize. Like again, I was just following the pencil and seeing where it goes,
Uh-huh.
and then I just like felt compelled to draw an eye on the other side. And then when I was done, I looked at it. I'm like, holy crap, that actually looks like David Bowie as a lion,
Sure does.
even
Mm-hmm.
with the eye like damaged, the damaged eye, which is the same eye that he had his surgeries in when he was punched in the face by a friend of his when he was fighting over a girl. I've heard him tell that story many times in interviews. Most of the
Yeah.
information that I have about David Bowie is coming from him in his own interviews, and those interviews usually pop up on my phone or somewhere
Mm-hmm.
in my present as I'm needed to watch them when I have
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. It's
Yes.
it's kind of like David Bowie knows how to uh, work the internet. And it kind of seems like he knew how to do that back in 1999 and earlier when the internet was brand new.
Mm-hmm. No, no, true.
So
What
it
it
totally
is
makes
they
sense.
Yeah, they did pair us up. It's pretty much a satanic ritual, or they can just log on to our energy and then pair us up that way. Okay, there's many ways of doing that. You're not nuts, okay? It happens to a lot of us. Now, what about this one? The heart and it looks like a
Um,
brain.
yeah, that one. While I was drawing other stuff, I actually heard in my head an AI voice, a
Uh-huh.
female, a female. I think it was a female AI voice, but it was a female voice nonetheless. And it actually said, "You're living in a plastic game." And
You're
so I
living in a
figured,
plastic game. That is so
you're
interesting.
living in a plastic game.
And that's what it says right there.
And so, since I knew that was a disembodied voice, actually kind of like being hooked up to my brain for me to hear it, I figured
Hmm.
I'd take that moment to actually, at the very least, sketch out the experience that I was having.
Now,
Uh, yeah.
real quick, sorry, in the left side of the heart, I see a nose, lips on the bottom, and then the big eye on the left, and then the little eye sorry, the big eye on the right, and the little eye is it's like he's this being in this heart brain is doing like a wink. Do you see that? Or is it just me?
I
You
don't.
see the nose? Let me see. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
right here. Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if
You
you can
see?
see my. Yeah. No, it does kind of look like there's a nose and there's an eye and there's a wink
Yeah,
on the
and then
left
there's
side.
another
Huh.
being on the right side. There's another being on the right side. He's looks like that David Bowie thing that to me, that eye, like the pyramid eye, like the
Hmm.
all-seeing eye, big nose and then big lips. So that's what I see. And then let me
Hmm.
just tell the public what I told you earlier, what I saw real quick, okay? Let me look at my notes. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm gonna start talking.
Okay.
Now, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so in my visions this morning, I kept asking about you. I saw two aviator men, two men in aviator black jackets with black bomber jackets with black fur around their neck. They had the flag insignia, which I'll show right now. It's like the cross, like the X that you drew as a portal, and then that portal takes you to Antarctica. There's another male there with them in tall uniforms, and in a tan uniform. He was tall. He also had a hat on. He was like maybe your commander.
Hmm.
And the two men were talking to you, and the other guy was just observing. There is currently a man trying to mess with your work and mission. I also saw, as I said before, that the radar detection and commo were the dolphins, whales, and other submarines, and also the flight crew.
Hmm.
Uh, during you guys were on a mission to save, there was a submarine that needed your assistance and was also tied with these two men in the vision for the flight crew. So you were working together with these people to find the submarine that was lost.
Okay.
That's what the dream told me in the mission.
Hmm.
Like I said, the X symbol is the ET portal leading to Antarctica. The green eye is the one that leads to Middle Earth. The purple is off planet. There was also three women in my dream that I had to keep kicking out of my dream. There were two of them had the blondish hair that I described earlier, and one had the black hair. Two of them had one kid with them, one little girl with them, and the kid kept pulling at them, like, come on, let's go. Like, we're not supposed to be here. They were observing my dreams, and I kept kicking them out. Okay, so let me go back to see if I can show the public these other pictures because it only let me
Okay.
do three at a time. Let's see. Stop share. Oh, not that way. Okay. So now I gotta do stop share. And then I go into, while I'm looking for these pictures, can you tell the people how you were actually a pagan person, how you got into the pagan thing in the ship? For 6 years you were in the Navy.
Okay. Yes.
What kind of things you practiced, if you want to say anything specific, and how did you find out that you had to be a what did you say, a casino
Oh, slot machine technician.
slot machine technician? It's really interesting, Rebecca, because I hadn't told you that I was used as a jumper here before I became a police officer. I would do I would put the money in the different casinos. I'd carry like $1 million just for the casinos on Fridays, just for the one casino here in town, and I had to also fix ATMs. I went through all of Arizona, Sal, Tombstone, Sierra Vista. Um, there's another town with an S. Anyway, Nogales, you name it, fixing these ATMs and also providing the money for the people there. Find that very interesting how, you know, anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead and
Okay.
talk, and then I'll look for these
Okay.
pictures.
All right. Pagan City Group. All right. So, growing up in high school, I didn't grow up religious or anything like that. My dad made sure that I was not that when I did grow up, that I had the opportunity to choose my own way if I wanted to. So I joined the Navy. I did boot camp. When I was in boot camp, I met one of the girls in there that became my best friend while I was at least there in Great Lakes and in boot camp. She had told me that she was a witch, and she told me about like a lot of the stuff that she did. That she's read tarot cards and whatnot, and so I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't really think too much of it. And then I get out of boot camp, and then I go into my training barracks, which is just across the street from boot camp. So I'm still stuck in Great Lakes. in the snow for an entire year. And so like the
Jeez.
first couple of days I don't know if it was the first day or at least the first week that I'm in my new barracks, I'm standing in line for something. I don't remember what it is, but these two people walk up to me and they're like, "Hi, we see that you're a channeler and we want to use you for a seance." And
Mm.
me knowing nothing about anything that has to do with the, with the paranormal or the spiritual realm or anything like that, I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. It turns out, I guess I have these natural powers that people recognize that I don't see in myself. I don't
Mhm.
know. I know I'm like extremely blocked. I don't know how to unblock it. Um, that's, I'm kind of looking for answers as far as that goes too. But I know I have like these experiences that are just like spontaneous. I'm like, whoa, what the heck is that? And then I have to do my own research on what stuff is, and I still don't get answers until like 20 something years later. But anyway, long story short, my barracks was full of witches.
Nice.
So I guess we were all on our soul's path to like find each other.
Mhm.
So I learned a lot from them, and I did not. I never really practiced whatever I've read. I've read a lot. I've read a lot of books over
Paganism?
the years. Huh?
Yeah. Paganism or witchcraft or what
Yeah.
can you for the people that don't know what it is, you want to tell them what it is to be pagan or the witch thing?
Well, I don't know. I think pagan kind of seems like it. I don't want to say derogatory, but like some people, will have their own ideas about what paganism is. Pagan is definitely non-Christian. I think pagan also like one of the definitions of pagan is country dweller. I don't
Uh-huh.
dwell in the country. But for me, paganism is just basically practicing outside the norm of organized religion. For me, it's more of like a spiritual pursuit using consciousness. And I don't use rituals or anything like that like other people do. For me, I just have a quest for knowledge.
Yeah.
I want to learn. I mean, I'm always about learning how the entire universe works and our place in it.
Right.
Um, and so it seems like well, my friends were into like actual like spellcraft and doing witchcraft and all that stuff. I don't consider myself a witch, even though years later I was part of a coven and my elder like initiated me as a third degree high priestess, which apparently is unheard of. And
What do you
but
have to do to be a third degree priestess?
I don't know.
They just ordained you that way?
Yes,
Oh,
that's the thing. It like it
okay.
upset everybody else, and I'm like, I don't know why you're giving this to me. But his reasoning was because like my mind, I guess, is so powerful.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
non-linear. Exactly. So we can
right.
go into whatever portal, wormhole, whatever kind of you can if somebody says something about someone, you can already see that person like, oh, well, where's this person today? Oh, okay, let me go real quick. Oh, yeah, he's working, he's doing this, he's wearing that, he's thinking that. So it's very easy for us and then even with dreams, when the dreams you dream them and then they come true and everybody's like, what? That's why I
Yeah.
highly suggest that you perhaps start your YouTube channel if you don't have it and start even writing your dreams and write the books. And because a lot of people throughout the year have had similar dreams and similar experiences as mine, and they're like, no way, like we were using that you
Yeah.
we have high discernment. Pretty much it's not just that you're a seer, you have a bunch of other a lot of us are born this way, but because a lot of people are on their phones and AI is telling them, oh no, they're just crazy, because AI and the government do not want us and other people to know that they are psychic and they can solve their own problems instead of having to go to school, and having to go to these psychiatrists that just feed you medication. And the medication is also to separate the abilities that we were God given, born, if you want to say born with.
Right.
And that's why I have this show, and I'm glad you're on. So let's go through these pictures before, so
Okay.
that way we can, let me start because I'm on the phone. My laptop, as you know, it's giving problems, so I'm on my cell phone. Here is one of the portals that I saw. This is actually a wormhole. Do you remember
Okay.
drawing this one? The one with the eye? It'll come up
Yes.
right now.
That was when I was practicing with uh, oil pastels.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, I've only worked with oil pastels I think once, and it was like during a month. So I I'm really into to drawing eyes for some reason, and I found out
Hmm.
like eyes means awareness, or at the very
Same
least,
here. My
yeah,
dad taught me how to draw eyes, and ever since I was a kid, I've been drawing eyes too, and so does one of my kids. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
So this particular one, I was actually experimenting with different colors for the iris, and so I was actually, if I remember correctly, I put the color down first, and then I put black down over the color, and then I scratched the iris pattern in, so you can actually reveal uh, the the texture, I guess, um, through that. I Now when I'm usually doing these drawings, I don't have anything specific going on in my head. I just looking for what just looks and feels right to me. For this one, I think I was just experimenting with color, and the purple is one of my favorite colors, especially named Crystal Violet. Go figure. Um, so it was for me when I was doing this. It was me mostly just working with the oil pastel thing, how it works and how you blend the colors together, and using a Q-tip, not a Q-tip, toothpick, as a scraper for like making the eyelashes. Um, and I was actually I had looked at some YouTube videos just to see how I could do the oil pastels. And now I don't. I mean, when I did these paintings, I never thought that they would ever be like portals. Most of the time, I don't really feel my paintings or sketches until like I don't know weeks later when I look back at them, and then I can actually feel them like sucking me in. And I can actually feel like a pull
Hmm.
in, like from my soul, like try to pull me into the paintings and drawings.
Hmm. Yes. Um, we can actually, anything that we draw or see in a book or read in a book, we can actually go
Mm-hmm.
through portals in our mind, and
Right.
then we can get sucked in. So okay, so we're sensitives, okay? We're born
Right.
sensitives, and we have to be very careful who we hang out with and who we talk to, because they can try and use us or corrupt our mind, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And we have to use our discernment and things like that. I really appreciate that purple, that the purple
Mm-hmm.
is a protection, kind of like a protection color over you. The green one is like very peaceful blue, all of these.
Mm-hmm.
And it also looks like a nuclei, I guess you could say. Um, I just love your artwork. Let me see the next one here. Oh, the red one. Is that like a fairy, like a fairy vampire or
Actually,
vampire? Eye?
actually, what that one is, it's a photo that I found on Pinterest,
Hmm.
and I wanted to see if I can actually pretty much recreate it with the oil pastels.
It looks like there's
So
like a ship in her eye, like a TR3B, like a triangle. That's pretty. Okay.
yeah, that's actually that's what the light looked like in the actual photograph of the eye that I decided to recreate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's actually it's actually lighting from the reflection of the actual eye that I was um, using as a model.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was me just working with the oil pastels to see how they can be applied on the paper and scraped with the toothpick. Yeah, scrape it with a toothpick to get that effect with the eyelashes again. And it
Ooh,
actually
yeah.
turned out way better than I expected.
Nice. I
Yeah,
love
that
it.
is one of my favorites. Yeah.
It's very beautiful. It's like you even did the shadow eye, if we want to talk about it. the,
The shadow
the
eye.
the dark shadow eye. Yeah,
Oh.
it's really pretty. Um, smoky eye. Sorry, that's what I was getting at.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very popular. Okay, the blue. Ooh, this one looks like a moon or a planet with the
Actually,
blue.
that was an experiment of mine that I did working with glow in the dark paint. Um,
Hmm.
it's I basically put a jar lid down and I just painted around it with like different colors and
I
photographed it
like
with
it.
I think it's with the photographed in black light or I photographed it in the dark. Because
It looks shiny too.
a lot of the paintings that I do is with black light and glow in the dark paint,
Hmm.
mostly glow in the dark. So I sold that one to a friend of mine shortly after I painted it, so I don't have an actual picture of it.
It's beautiful because you do channel. You know what I'm saying? You can channel
Hmm.
different dimensions and things like that.
Right.
So that's how we work with art and things like that. It looks like a galaxy around there. It's so pretty. It reminds me of Uranus for some reason.
Mhm.
Okay. Next, ooh, the star. Oh, I love stars. My dad would also have me draw stars. I can't really go lower on the screen there on YouTube, but on the phone,
Yeah.
that's how it is. So anyway. Ooh, it looks like an
Yeah.
eye in the middle, like a dragon eye in the middle for some
Huh.
reason.
Yeah, it might be how the it came out on the camera. That is also another one of my glow in the dark paintings. It looks best in black light, and then it
Hmm.
fades really quick after you turn off the light.
Hmm.
Um, and that one, a lot of emotion went into that because I like to be precise and I like to use rulers and straight edges and stuff like that. So that star, I basically did freehand, and I was like crying because it didn't come out perfect because I'm a perfectionist, and then I
Yeah.
had to like come to terms with like, no, it's okay.
Yes,
It's
you have to
okay.
let it go sometimes, you know?
Yeah. So I don't remember much. I just remember like, okay, I got the star down, and let me just like put everything else around it. So I just like cycle through different colors,
Hmm.
just to have the other colors around it. But yeah, it came out really, really good.
Yeah, I have worked with it's like black paper and then you can use regular, paper and a canvas and then do the black, it's like
Hmm.
a black pastel and then you can use even your nails or like you said, a little pin or something
Yeah.
and there's also the black light. That's fascinating. I love your work. Oh, I like this one. This one reminds me of this video called Speed Racer by Dahlia.
Huh.
Now, I don't think I can play it here, but I will link it up and I'll send it to you. Speed Racer is what comes, and that is when we are on our ship and getting ready to come to Earth. And she's looking through a
Okay.
window, and she's looking through a window through her clone here on Earth, but she's on a ship. And it's amazing. She taps onto her wrist. She has something on her wrist, and then she wakes herself up here on Earth in the desert. Like she just drops, okay?
Hmm.
Because a lot of us just come. I know that I remember coming. I know because I remember the shooting star incident with the light that came out of my heart, and boom, I'm here. But I was already here. Get it? But
Right.
this clone was here. There's several clones that they have. So to make a long story short, I took my clones and my altars and I brought myself back because they did have me enter Antarctica. But in the video, it would be so cool if I can play it. But anyway, it just shows how she's telling herself to remember. 3, 4, wake, wake, run, run, run. And then she says, remember who you are. And it's just showing her in the desert, like trying to get up, getting used to her body again,
Hmm.
stumbling, and then remembering that she's on a ship.
Yeah.
Her self is on a ship, but then her other self is on Earth, and that's how I
Right.
see us.
Right.
You, me, and the others that Teresa. I don't know if you have experiences like that, but if you have any questions, Teresa, for Rebecca. But I like the purple. It's also like very protecting. So how did you if you want to go ahead and talk about that drawing?
That particular drawing, that is also taken in with a black light. The original in regular light is actually kind of like a pink and green. The pink, the blue color or the purplish that you see in there is actually pink in regular light, so it looks completely different. I with a lot of my paintings, I like the fact that under each light, it's a completely different painting. I like the idea of like shifting. I guess that's the best way to put it. Now this particular one is the one that I was painting. I think I
Mhm.
was filling in the black and white parts before I actually went over it with the glow in the dark paint. And that's the one that I actually experienced David Bowie and Freddie Mercury holding their hand out to me.
Wow.
And
So you were
yeah,
going you're going through a portal.
yeah,
See how it's like different mirrors? Like I see like different
hmm
mirrors, different facets of you. It's like they were sucking in your real self to, but then there's the green too. So the green is protecting you, and then the purple is like the unknown.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It also reminds me
cool.
of uh, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, actually, it's a wormhole. Sorry, I'm getting that it's a wormhole. Yeah, Alice in Wonderland, totally.
Yeah.
So here we have Rick. He says hello. And we have Valerie Gomez. Hi, Valerie. I have not heard from you for a while. It says, could I put my own purple eye picture over my bed when I sleep? Yes, because it's kind of like a sigil, right? What do you think, Rebecca? Kind of like a
Um.
protection.
Yeah. The all-seeing eye, protection. I know for me personally, I actually made um a few dream catchers, and I know those have actually worked for me and for sleep and also spiritual stuff. It actually keeps ghosts or entities at bay. Um,
Yes.
let's see. Yeah. I mean, it's for in my idea, or at least in my mind, it sometimes art is what you put into it, even if somebody else has created the art. So art's different for everyone, I think.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Um, so yeah, if you want to put an eye over your bed, I mean, I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, and it's also you can also use it as a portal. Oh, this is the Green Knight. This is the one that
Yep.
I was telling you that I saw my Sheila She-Hulk. That's just to me, it's connecting with the green beings with your inner Hulk and also inner Earth. That's what I got from the Green Eye. But like you just said, art is everything different for everyone,
hmm
and each time that you even look at your art, you get some right. You get something like
Yeah, I get
whoa.
something different. Yeah,
Hmm.
I can totally see the She-Hulk.
Yes, because you do have a She-Hulk, and like I told you, you were in the Dolphin program like I was, and I'm getting that you were also in the Hulk program. And if you want to talk about the drawing and also talk about any Hulk experiences, or getting so mad that I don't know, you have to pick up a whole sofa or something, something.
Yeah,
Whether it's
I
in whether it's physically or in your mind, maybe when you were in the Navy, I don't know, or here.
well, I've definitely had anger issues in my past that I've had to hone over the years.
Hmm.
So this particular drawing, again, I was experimenting with the oil pastels, but I also had the chameleon powder. So the shininess that you see of the eye with the green, and then also the eyeshadow with the blue and the purple. If you were to actually look at the original painting in the drawing. So what I did, since the oil pastels are kind of sticky, I actually took the chameleon powder and just rubbed it all over it, so it just made a sheen, and it came out like really nice and pretty and shiny. And then I just left the eye part untouched as far as putting any of the shimmer powder on it. But it does kind of look like I am seeing that it's kind of like the left. It looks like the left and the right eye both at the same time. But it does look like there's kind of like a nose there. But but when I did that, I wasn't like trying to put a nose there or anything. It's just how it turned out.
Wow, I love it. It's like
Yeah,
automatic when I do my automatic like writing, but it's not really, it's just when one time I asked, okay, the universe, I'm like, well, what is my spirit name? And what I was doing is I was staring at the sun and I had a just a blank piece of paper and I had my pencil. And all of a sudden, I started staring at the sun and all of a sudden my right wrist just it just kept going and going, like tapping, tapping, tapping. And then at the end, it was like I was in a portal with other family and then it said Kumru. And I looked up Kumru, and that's like the white dove, white dove, face of God kind of a thing, you know.
Okay.
But this one, what I see with yours is also like shape-shifting abilities, and she's this particular Hulk is your protector as well. That's what I see.
Okay.
hmm
Yeah,
You
I've
also
definitely
have.
had like I said, anger issues in the past. I've been told I have borderline personality traits, but I'm kind of thinking that it's not that anymore.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking I might actually be misdiagnosed like ADHD or possibly autistic. I don't know. Nobody wants to test me anyway, so it's whatever.
Most
But
of
then
us
again, I
have.
don't know if I should know, you know?
I know. I see that you're like, you do have some personalities and then some like me, I know when certain personalities are here and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
and I gotta deal with her or oh shit. I don't want that depressed, sad girl, man. And sometimes I'll be sad for like 3 days and then or 2 days, and then I'm like, I gotta kick
Yeah.
my own ass and say, come on, let's get out of that. Go do
Yeah.
something. You're also part of the Giants. That's what I'm getting. You have the hazel eyes, red hair in this picture that I see, shapeshifter. The anger, of course, we always have to be careful with the
Mhm.
anger. We have to use it because sometimes we'll just snap at someone we don't mean it, and then like a light will go out, or we'll
Yeah.
hurt them, like meaning in their heart, like, oh man, I
Mhm.
didn't mean to make you sad, like so sorry.
Right. Right. Yeah, I
Mm,
feel it when I hurt people. I'm extremely sensitive to everybody's emotions around me. Um,
hmm
so
But see, at the same time, that anger, if you look at it another way, it's a shield of protection. That way
mhm.
they can't infiltrate us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's definitely one that came up. Okay, let me see the next one. Ooh, this one's totally like one, two. I see like two wormholes. It's beautiful. Let me see if it's like the pink and on the bottom. That's really pretty. I'm already transported that way. I'm going to the ocean on this one.
This one is I was just playing around with for the background. I was just using a sponge to just put colors together to make a background that glows in the dark. And then I didn't know what to do with the actual painting other than just the background. So I just with a single paintbrush, I freehanded the eye and then just like did that. Um,
Mhm.
in hindsight, I'm kind of wondering if I accidentally did David Bowie's dilated eyeball because it is so dilated. And then you can kind
Yeah.
of see like in there like reflection. Because I know in a lot of his photographs you can see that one eyeball just like reflecting light out.
hmm
Um, at the time I was seeing a lot of pictures of David Bowie because I was still trying to like figure out like what's his purpose in my life, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think his eyes were like seared into my mind.
Hmm. Yeah, it also looks like a forest.
Hmm.
Perhaps do you have a lot of us can, I'm pretty sure you have. Can you can connect with the cryptid, right? And other species?
If I do, I'm not aware of it through my, and most likely probably through my dreams,
Mhm.
or my higher self or my soul will do it like while my human side is not aware.
Right.
Like my friends have told me that I do show up in spirit form to them, and I have no recollection of it, but they
Mm-hmm.
see me.
Hmm.
So I know
Yeah.
that my other self is, or selves, multiple, doing all kinds of stuff simultaneously with no
Hmm.
recollection of me. Um,
Yes. Do you ever wake up with your eyes red? I feel like that's when we go underwater sometimes because it's nothing to do with, taking extra supplements or drugs or anything. It just happens.
are you
You know
talking
how when
about
you're
like
under,
red as in bloodshot?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
my eyes are always bloodshot.
yeah, just and then also um sometimes I have to drink like a lot of water or eat a lot when I come back from my astral travels. Eat a lot of protein. And then sometimes I will crave like just I have to I'm like if I'm dehydrated, I have to and I haven't done like excessive exercise or anything. It's just me, you know.
Mhm.
I was told by another healer that I need to drink a lot of water because I tend to go through much time travel. So I'm just going to highly suggest you drink water too. I don't know if that makes sense. Real quick, Valerie says, I feel connected to the moon. Is it wrong? Should I connect to the sun? And thank you both for you just being yourselves. And I say, I have a feeling that you may have been born in the moon, Val, like as a MyLab. And then she says, I love that one. Beautiful. What would be your answer, Rebecca, for that?
For the moon, like being connected to the moon and the sun, or just specifically the
No,
moon?
she says she feels connected to the moon. She says, is it wrong? Should I connect to the sun? And thank you both for being just yourselves. And what I said is, what I see is that you may have been born in one of the moons as a MyLab, because a lot of us were born off planet, and then they were just inserted us here.
Well, from
Interesting.
my understanding, the moon in general, depending on what uh, I don't want to say what religion. With my experience, the moon, especially like when it comes to paganism or studying witchcraft and stuff like that, the moon, you have the god and the goddess, and the sun is the god, and the moon is the goddess. But then again, you also have the moon signifying the subconscious or the hidden parts of the mind. And
Hmm.
that's through the tarot.
Hmm.
I'm very partial to the moon myself. Like 20
Yeah.
years ago, I used to go by purple moon, and now it's
Hmm.
crystal violet because it sounds better to me. Um,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, the moon also has an energetic effect as well. Um, I was actually somewhere out in the desert in California one night, and my friends were doing a ritual out there, and I stood in the center of the circle, not really paying attention. And then I actually felt like energy from, because it was full moon too. I actually felt energy from the moon actually grab me and like pull me up and almost out of my body, and I almost fell. And I was like, "Whoa, what
Hmm.
was that?" And the
Yeah.
person who had cast the circle, he started laughing. He's like, I know what's going on. And I'm like, okay. But
Oh,
also, like a
I
few
know.
minutes later,
Yeah.
I actually felt a pull down as well. So I'm just wondering, like, in that particular moment, because we were working with, the god and the goddess with the Gardnerian tradition, because he was a Gardnerian
Yeah.
um, witch, and I figured with what he did, I was affected because I stood in the center of the circle, which I understand now that I understand quantum physics and how an energy torus works is that the magic circle is a torus, and in the very center of that circle is the highest point of energy. And
Yeah.
that's also what I felt. So was I feeling the moon, or was I just feeling the highest portion of the energetic circle that he had created? I don't know.
Yeah, I have a small theory. I mean, I could be wrong, but what I see is that I know that I can levitate because I'm a somnambulist, so I sleepwalk. I still do. Even I'll go to the kitchen, I don't remember. My son's like, what were you doing in the kitchen? I'm like, what? You know,
Yeah.
but I can go out, whatever, go outside or whatever, and then you're like, what happened? Um, we can levitate. So what I see is that you were just in a relaxed state
Mhm.
and you were able to levitate. So you can look some of the videos on YouTube. There's a lot of, okay, so I know that I'm part of the Ascended Masters and you are too. That's what I'm getting to. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but that's what I see. You said Taurus in the middle or
Yeah,
toric field?
yeah, toric, is that what it's called, a toric field?
Yeah, because we are a toric field. Our,
Yes.
that's what we are.
Yeah, the heart
And
chakra is the center of the torus, correct?
yeah, and then when you spin, you can get out of your body. So our toric field is spinning, 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 boom, we go out of our body. You could look up Project Pegasus. That was part of that. Okay, so this next one, I thought it was like a squid or a bean from Antarctica, but you said it's like a volcano,
Yeah,
and
it's actually
you
a
have like a
volcano.
pyramid, like a pyramid.
Um, I did it. I like to sometimes I actually like to do them, and I like to rotate the canvas and then have it like in a way that people don't normally paint. So this particular one, I had painted it completely gray. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and then I put black from in the center down, and then I was like, what
Hmm.
am I gonna do? And then I had the idea to do a volcano. So I did the volcano in. It does not look like that at all. It doesn't even have red in it in regular light. That red is actually white, and it only glows red in the dark. So it's like
Oh,
invisible.
nice.
So with that in regular light, it kind of just looks like it's smoking at top, but as soon as the black light hits it, it's like boom, there it is.
Um, I just got something, a flash, just really quick. It was you when you were little, and there's a man taking you to a hidden church, but that's just me. It's just happened really fast.
Not to
So
my
weird.
recollection in this
I
lifetime,
know.
Rebecca.
It's so weird. Like, who the heck is taking you somewhere?
I don't
Um,
know. I do know that I'm probably living a lot of different timelines right now. So
different what? Sorry.
timelines,
Yeah, exactly.
yes.
And then you're also a healer, so
Hmm.
I like this one because it also has a feminine and masculine energy, as that's what I see, like a pyramid, above, so below.
Oh
It's,
yes, I see that too.
and it's also a disc that you can just throw and it goes and it can just take you instantaneously to whatever you want. It's like a traveling disc. I have had dreams where I have a disc and I end up in other countries, and then I looked it up and it's a patent. It's patent technology where it's
Hmm.
kind of like a Teflon material. You put it on the floor and you step on top of it and you go. I was like, what? I just had that dream about 2 months ago. Okay. And then this one, it looks like Mars to me. You probably
Uh,
Mars.
it's funny you mentioned Mars. It's not Mars, but it is an homage to David Bowie's Black Star music video.
Which music video?
Black Star.
Oh my gosh. So, he's telling you that he's part of Black Rock and the Black Sun. This is the Black Sun. Wow.
So there's a
What?
particular paint that I paint with. It's called, well, now it's called Black 4.0. It's supposed to be the closest thing to Vanta Black because we can't use Vanta Black, plus it's also toxic. Um, so it's a really matte, an extremely matte black paint that I use, and it's supposed to absorb like 99% of light.
Uh,
So this actually has an orange filter on it, so it's not the actual painting. It's still pretty much the same color. It's just a lot more orange in this picture right here.
mhm.
Yeah, so I painted over that, and then I used some like glitter spray, and then I went back over it with the black paint, and then just made sure that it was really matte. And then later on, I actually painted over it with some blue glow in the dark.
Ooh.
So in a black light, it actually glows blue.
Ooh, pretty.
So I didn't have a chance to like send you all of my paintings. Um, so I just sent you like my most favorite ones.
Thank you.
Um,
They're all so beautiful. And
yeah.
you're on Instagram too, right? What are you
Yes.
under on Instagram?
I'm under Crystal Violet. I don't know the numbers like right after it. So,
Okay.
but it's got my face. I think I'm also my face is also under black light.
Yeah, I like that picture of you.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Um, can they purchase any of your drawings or paintings? The public?
Not yet. Before I sell any of my original paintings, I want to have better photography done.
Hmm.
Because what I want to do is I want to make them into like t-shirts and
Yes.
um t-shirts, magnets, stickers. I do
Hmm.
have a color printer. I did try to make some stickers. I don't didn't come out that great, but some of them are pretty cool.
We would have to talk offline because I've been wanting to make my own t-shirts because I usually have to order them from another person for my Sheila She-Hulk. And then I wanted to do like magnets and mugs and
Yeah.
stickers. Do I need to get a Cricut machine or what?
I don't know. I just got like a bubble jet printer, or no,
Oh,
inkjet. I got an inkjet printer right now, so I've just been practicing with like sticker paper and stuff like that. So before I really, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like flying completely blind. If anybody's willing to help me, that'd be cool. Um,
I know. When I
everything
asked,
I do is self-taught.
I know, girl, but we have to be careful who we ask because when I put it
Yeah.
out, I said, "Hey, I need help with my t-shirts and our website." Well, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It was taken away from Jay Slater or Jake Slater, and yeah, that's a whole deal. I only have
Yeah.
one t-shirt. Now what I got is that what I would like to try, and maybe you, there's these, remember, and I don't know how, I know you're younger, but the 80s, how we would always wear buttons, and there still have some buttons, but back in the day we would make our own buttons. We would just copy something and then put it in the back with, the pin, and then boom, like a little bubble over it. I would like
Yeah, I
to
remember
look
that.
into that too. I wonder. And then
Yeah, I know
posters.
there's button makers that exist. I've seen people make buttons before. I never actually did it myself. Um,
And this one would be good in a poster, just like that,
yeah.
like
Yeah, what I
poster.
actually want to do with this particular one is I know there's some websites that you can like have prints made, and I want to actually have a metallic print done. So a slab of
Mm,
metal and have it like printed on top of that. I think that'd be really pretty.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, let me exit out of the pictures. Um, how do I do that? See that. Oh, this is so weird on the phone. Okay, figure it out. Oh, there it is. Stop share. Okay, thank you. Thank you for all that. So, Teresa, do you have any questions or anything?
No, but I really liked it, the green eye with the green skin on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very, very doable texture and everything on that one. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah,
So,
everything that I've done has all been experiments. Like, let's see what happens if I try to do this.
Yeah.
so
Love
I
it.
do have a brand new cry cut machine,
A new what?
circuit machine, the cry cut
Oh.
machine. I have that, and I have extra heads for it for different printing on different or engraving or all of that stuff. And I had trouble with it because I didn't have an iPhone anymore. I have Android, and it works better with an iPhone, a lot better. And
Hmm.
they say if you're just starting out and you're restarting because of all the blacklisting that happened during the baby Jabberwocky shit, that and you just want like a inventory of 10 or less items, you should use one of the online services because they're not going to charge you to store it because the people are going to log on there and they're going to order what they're going to order. They're going to order and it's going to get shipped, paid by them and shipped straight to them. So you don't have to worry about a bunch of t-shirts in your house and books and all that stuff. So and then I think the breaking point is like 25 t-shirts a month. If you're selling 25 or more a month, then you definitely want to get, you definitely want to get a vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or an inventory, a small inventory.
I know I've had friends that have used the Teespring before for selling their art on T-shirts.
Uh-huh.
Um, I don't know anything about doing that, but I have looked into like printing companies and stuff like that as well.
I made myself some tote bags and t-shirts and stuff, but I sold them all. I didn't think I was going to sell any at all, but I was trying to learn something and it was very exciting to me.
Yeah.
And that
Mm-hmm.
was in 2003. And now I'm like, I can't even hardly find my patterns anymore. They're supposed to be on the computer, but it takes me a minute to find them.
Yeah, I really want to like make my own t-shirts because I have to order them from this lady and she charges me 25 for just one. I'm like, why? Oh, it's because, your She-Hulk she's too much color, or I'm like, well, that's how I'm going to keep her that way because that's how I like her, and I have other ideas for mugs. And then there's because the book 3 has Sheila Wolverine with her spikes coming out, like her knives,
Well,
and
yeah.
there's just so much we can do. And then I really like the idea for you, Rebecca, with the posters.
Mm.
It's just I wouldn't mind having that last one. I don't know. It's just when I was a teenager, I had posters everywhere. You know how it was back in the day, posters, and now it's like you're
Yeah.
stuck on the phone. But
Yeah, I remember like back in the early to late no, early to mid 90s because I was already in the Navy by then. That like one of those prism posters where it's you walk towards it and it's kind of like you're walking into it. Is I don't know. It was circular and then you walk towards it and it just I don't know. It looks like it's moving. It was an optical illusion, but I really loved it.
yes, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my jacket. I got cold all of a sudden. But any other dreams that you had or anything lately? Rebecca Caldwell was on my show 3 times, I think, or this is your third time. What we were talking about the cryptid with Wolf. We were talking about the technology, super soldier stuff. I met Rebecca at the Tucson Paranormal, and I just knew I had to talk to her, and I'm so glad I did.
Well, let's see. I did have a dream recently, and I don't know if what exactly if it's what's going on, over in the other countries right now, especially with Iran. I don't really want to talk too much about like what's going on over there. But the dream that I had, I was in a building with a whole bunch of other people. Whenever I dream, I don't know the people in my dream, but I'm around a lot of people all the time. And in this dream, I remember being in a building, and I remember watching like whatever was going on in the news, like in real time. And in the dream, there's a missile that lands but doesn't quite detonate yet. And then we realize that the missile is outside of the building that we're in. And as soon as we realize that, that's when the missile actually detonates and glass is blown inside and like hits all of us with shards of glass. And then from that point forward in the dream, I get like really hyper vigilant, and then I'm just like, keeping an eye out for like any other threat. That's the most recent dream that I had, and that was probably maybe 5 days ago. So I don't know if that's just me like experiencing other people that are actually experiencing that in real time. Because I do think that I am able to put my consciousness in somebody else's body and experience what they experience.
Yeah.
I do remember that for like 9/11. I remember actually being in the plane right before hitting the building. Very calm. Like it wasn't really like a video per se that I was seeing. It was just like a still of just me being there sitting in the chair in the plane, just waiting for the inevitable, because everybody on the plane knows what's going to happen. So, but there's like really no emotions involved. Huh?
I see it's a future vision that you had from the future. So, maybe you ask your subconscious if you're supposed to go back in there and stop it from happening, or if it's something that has to happen. I know that I had a dream of whales and dolphins with cement on top, and then they were drowning them. There were some ships as well. And then all of a sudden, a week later, this guy on Substack posts this picture of the dolphin with the headgear, and then a man on a trip chair with the headgear trying to control the dolphin, and that supposedly they're going to use them for the Iran war. And I'm like, dude, they've been weaponizing us and dolphins and whales since forever. But it's just now coming on, because I did train some of the kids and the dolphins to be telepathic. And I have many, 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 many dreams of being underwater in Hawaii, other places off planet, inner Earth. And it's tough because we're in the United States, right? Some of us were born in other countries, but our fathers were sent messages, right? We didn't know back then, or dreams or messages that they had to move here. Why? Because they needed to experiment on us, and they needed us for their military secrets operations. And I'm kind of torn sometimes because I have family in Mexico and other countries like Italy, Germany, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here serving this country. And the thing of it is with the dolphins, I know that they want for us to remember that it's not just the children of the United States that we are trying to protect, that it's also the other countries off planet, other species, kids. It's not just our children. So that's where my heart goes out to all the children, because they are innocent. They're not programmed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my whole thing of speaking out against these programs is that we need to take care of the children's minds so that they don't get infiltrated the way we did for their stupid operations that we've been fighting this wars for eons and eons. I know, I remember I have some dreams where I'm a dragon or I'm shapeshift or whatever, and I supposedly they say that we were, giants and dragons at one point, which I do remember some dream, and that we lost that war, and that we're here now, and that we are the sleeping giants that are awake and helping others to wake up, because this time we win. And how do we win? It's through love. What do you think?
Wow, that's a lot to unpack there.
I know. And
uh,
real quick, I saw that movie, with Kurt Russell, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see it, but I'm like, fine, I'll watch it. And it's with Godzilla, with the dragon, with the Chango, King Kong, and they're trying to steal these stargates and portals to get these Titans out of the way. But then the Titans are saying, we're just here with our family and our children, kind of like the cryptid, they just want to be left alone. But I see the military also in the movie Stargate, the original 80s movie, where they're trying to seal the portals. And they're trying to seal the Stargate, especially Stargate number 10, which is in Iran. So okay, so do we keep these species from coming in? What about their children? Some of them are stuck here from the different matrices. And then now Donald Trump wants to put this gold dome around us, which we already had a dome. But now, is he sealing us in? What's going on? I know it's a lot. I'm gonna go get some water and I'll let you talk. Thank you.
wow. Okay. So as far as the dolphins go, whenever I think of like the dolphin program or whatnot, I always think of Johnny Mnemonic. I don't know how many people actually remember that movie. It's hard to find these days. But Keanu Reeves has an implant in his brain, so he's able to carry digital information, and he's like I think like a black market information carrier. And towards the end of the movie, he has to get all this information out of his brain, but he can't do it by himself because he doesn't have the password. So they use a dolphin, and I think his name is Jones. And Ice-T tries to let I almost call him David Bowie. Keanu Reeves know. He's like, hey, we got this guy who was in the Navy. He's going to help you out. And so they pull back the curtain, and it's a dolphin, and he's got headgear on. So as soon as she said headgear, headgear on the dolphin, I was thinking of that movie. It's a weird one. It's one of my favorites. I love Keanu Reeves. So I don't really know much about the dolphin program. In most of the stuff that Veronica talks about, I don't recall ever actually experiencing, whether in dreams or in this reality. But with the interesting dreams that I have, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if I was part of that program. As far as Stargate goes, I'm not familiar with the Stargate in Iran, but I do know that in Egypt, that I guess there's the Ra soul group. There's this one psychic that I was watching, and she was actually talking about at the base of the Sphinx that there is a spiritual meeting place where a lot of people from the Ra soul group go. And when I was in the Navy on my third deployment, when I went to go to sleep, I was actually transported to the base of the Sphinx. And it wasn't the Sphinx as we see it today. It was how it was when it was freshly built, with like the gold and the blues, and it still had the nose, and and it was like very, very vivid. I was like, wow, is this real? And then like when I actually woke up the next morning, I actually talked to my elder that was running the cousin that I was in at the time. I'm like, back in the day, did the Sphinx, when it was freshly built, was it like gold and blue and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah. So 20 years later, I see the psychic medium. She's talking about the Sphinx, and she had a lot of other people typing in on her program. They're like, they had talked about the same experience where they were at the base of the Sphinx. So I'm starting to, and she said it was specifically Ra because she was actually channeling Ra at the time. So the information that she was bringing in through Ra and describing the Ra soul group and the people that are connected to that totally made sense to me. What else was Veronica talking about as far as we got the dolphin program? I don't really know much about that. Um, I do remember seeing dolphins in the Navy, and they were fun to watch. Let's see.
So talking about Stargates.
Yeah, Stargates. I don't ever recall experiencing any Stargates like we saw like you see in the movie. I do need to watch the show because I heard that's actually pretty good.
It's very good.
Is it with
Yeah.
I
I think on their
forgot his
first mission, they go in there. They're trying to check out this planet, right?
Mhm.
They had no idea where they were going. They had a full military group. They had their escorts and all that, and then they get there and they just find out it's full of these beautiful desert dwelling, pyramid living in,
Right.
peaceful, loving people that are being plagued by reptilians.
Yeah.
And they're false gods, Ra and all of this stuff. It's pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing. I mean, they built quite a series out of the first movie. Yeah.
I do vaguely recall having visions of being in ancient Egypt and actually, I think I was like an overseer for a funeral for one of the pharaohs that they had.
Mm.
But it was such a quick vision. There was really no substance to it other than just watching, people walking around with an Anubis head.
Well, the more we share our visions and dreams, the more understanding and more relationship with our higher self, gives us more and more to go on out of that, just that little topic or that little cluster of information. So that's really good.
Yeah, I do watch a lot of channelers too, so I get a lot of my information from them, and they actually, there's a lot of different entities that I watch being channeled, and I hope to one day be a channeler as well as people said I was.
You are. You just have to tune in and just
go
practice. With it. You just have to really. You have to believe in yourself, and you go with that. The first thing, how in school they say, go with the first answer in your head. Don't doubt yourself. The whole thing that I now know is also these programs. They don't want us to be to know our value and to be how do you say, confident in our abilities. Okay. Right. So you just have to go with it. Go with the first instinct. Go and real quick, for as far as the Stargate movie, the 80s, Raw, he comes in a ship right on top of the pyramid, and he's like dying, like this is like he looks like an ugly ass grave, but he's Anunnaki. And then he's like, he opens the sarcophagus, and then he goes and finds a young male who is in Egypt, right? And then he takes his body, and then that's him in the movie. He rejuvenates, right? And then he has all these boys that are protecting Ra himself. So he's a pedophile. He's a liar. And in the movie, he says, I chose your species because your body was easily repairable. And I'm like, middle finger, bro. Like, I do not worship you. You try to take over the sun portal. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I don't do that. So anyway, real quick, Valerie Gomez says, I dreamt of an orca talking to me, but I couldn't understand him. It's okay. It's more telepathically. Just maybe write down something if you ask it, if he or she can be in your dream, or maybe just close your eyes, Val, and then just focus on that. Sometimes we're not meant to understand it telepathically, and sometimes it's for our system, for our vortex, I guess you can say, our heart. And then you said, oh my God, I did dream a Godzilla and King Kong running into the ocean side by side. Yes. So what's happening is some of the titans, some of the giants have waken up and they're under the water. They're on our mountains and they're going to help us through this war. Okay. Some of them are good. Not all of them are bad. The humpback whale have telepathically spoken to me with my dreams, but the orca was sounding like its original voice that people normally hear. Yes. So Because you are also a sensitive, Valerie has been watching the show since I started in 2018. She's a sensitive too, so they will find us, the dolphins and whatever entities that are good, that are trying to help humanity. They will try and communicate with us. Now it's up to us what we do with our challenge, what we do with our mission. We are here for such a time as this. That's why I met Rebecca, Teresa, and Ariel will be on the show on Friday again if Rebecca can make it, or you, Teresa. She was, as I don't know if you've seen the show, but she was in Russia, and she was also used, hey, we got to go against the United States, right? Like I was talking about earlier. But now she lives here, so it's like, okay, now we're used in these programs here. So ultimately, I think we have to remember what's important. Be grateful for our abilities, and don't let anybody take them away from you. Don't let anybody keep you from your mission, whether it's a girlfriend, cousin, mom, dad, kid. So do you have anything else to say? Because I have to go. I have to go. My dog needs me. My German Shepherd, she's like, that's it. Sometimes I can do 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours, but depending. So any comments, Teresa, or any
No, I would like to get more information on the human ecosystems because I follow this one gal, and she's really high tech. She was a DARPA project, and she rebelled against it. Her family, her natural born family in this lifetime is with DARPA. They're little weird, but she never says anything bad about them. But when you said something about human ecosystem study, the study of the human ecosystem, I was like, oh, why do it? Because it's my pay attention ear. It's my pay attention to this terms ear that really got me. So I don't really have anything to say about it. I just would like more information on that for sure.
The only thing I know is that we have an ecosystem in ourselves. And I've had many times where I'm coming out of a dream and I'm echolocating with the dolphins, and it's coming out from my throat. I'm talking through my throat. It's like different frequencies. Okay, so I'm either locating or biolocating, or I'm somewhere else, and I'm like coming back to my body and I'm talking still, but through my throat. We have an echolocation system within us. Okay, and it can also be hacked. So we have to keep protecting it. We have to go, like I said, with our gut feeling. There's the ecosystems within the dolphins, ecosystems with the birds, ecosystems everywhere. The water.
The bats. The bats.
The bats.
Oh yeah, the bats. Like I used to be really afraid of bats, and I went through a couple of rituals to help me with that because I would like my whole system. I would shut down like it was not natural fear, and so the tribal systems and they made me go to Sedona, and they did some rituals on me and some cleansings and it was a beautiful time. I thought I was on vacation. Like I didn't know I was going through all these rituals and stuff. And that was before I moved down here in 98. Yeah, 98. So I'd been noticing a lot of bats. And they have a particular energy when you're not afraid of them. Like if you're just observing each other, they have a particular frequency, and it's really quite beautiful. But if we let the mind get in the way, then it kind of it makes your heart race and different things. And I'm like, oh, this is really interesting because the bat is rebirth. And I'm seeing more signs of the rebirth of this city, especially spiritually, than in my dreams than anything else. I guess because I'm done with the whole war bullshit. War sucks, it just really does. and it doesn't profit anybody in the
Well,
long run
it
or the
profits
short run.
BlackRock. It profits the crown. It profits,
Well,
you know,
BlackRock's
me.
filing for bankruptcy, so it BlackRock
But
hasn't been around that long.
now BlackRock is part of the whole umbrella. So what they're doing is they're merging with another aspect of what's under umbrella.
AI.
Yep, you got it. You got it,
Yeah.
Miss Smarty Pants. Yeah.
All right, that's all I got. That was the main thing that piqued my interest of the whole show, and the green picture, the green eye, the green eye.
I love that green. Ah.
Yeah, the pictures don't do him any justice. Everything looks so much better in person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw.
like I said, I need to find a better camera and a better way to photograph everything, so I can turn it into like art that I can replicate and then sell the original paintings at
Do you have an iPhone?
whatever value.
Rebecca, do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have an Android.
Find one of your good friends. Ask them if you can use their phone for 5 minutes, and then take pictures with their iPhone and email them to yourself, and then send it to a printer and ask for like a 5x7 or 8x10 or whatever. 5x7 is pretty popular, especially for like your fridge and stuff like that, or your bathroom mirror or whatever. Because the iPhones take way better pictures.
Yeah.
They really do. Especially for like making a print. And it's pretty cheap to make prints. It's pretty economical.
Yeah.
Rebecca, I want the green one for sure, and then that one that looks like Mars. So whenever you're getting ready to sell them, let me know.
Well, the Black Star one, yeah, I'm pretty much keeping that one for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, and the green one that was actually on paper, and with some like other stuff, so I kind of like cropped it. So like when I see you in person, I can show them to you.
I just love it because it's so glimmery. It just shines to me. It's like like
I love
so
shiny
beautiful.
things. Shiny and
Yeah.
glittery.
I have my
is that a geode?
Yeah, blue. Aquamarine. I love it. Would you like to do another show, Rebecca, after I come back from healing more? I have to have that surgery or
Oh,
2.
you've already had it?
No, I'm gonna in
Oh, you're
April.
going to. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, we can do more. I probably should, have more stuff to talk about. We can talk later on and see what we want to bring up. I also I haven't really done any readings or healings on anybody that aren't my friends, but I am definitely open to possibly doing some readings and healings. Everything I do is intuitive, so yeah, I'm just figuring it out as I go. I know I am a strong sensitive because I surprise people around me all the time. It's mostly spontaneous, so yeah.
sounds good. So Rebecca, where can people find you? And what else? Any emails or anything that you would like to tell?
My email, it's a long one. It's crystalvioletexperience@gmail.com. And that I think that's also connected to my Facebook account as Crystal Violet. I prefer using Crystal Violet just to separate my spiritual self from my human self. I like to keep that separate. I'm known as both Rebecca and Crystal Violet. So, and then on Instagram, also Crystal Violet. I don't know the other numbers that follow Crystal Violet, but you'll see my face.
Yeah, you can just send me the links. It's okay.
Okay.
You can just send me the links and then I'll put it down in
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you added yourself on my Instagram because I saw that you like some of my stuff.
Yeah, there's 2 Instagrams. I have 2 Facebooks. I'm on Telegram, Substack, everywhere.
Yeah.
So I have to separate, my artwork, which are my junk
Yeah.
journals. They're beautiful too. I was even thinking of making a book out of them, like, because I saw your artwork and I'm like, it would not be. I've been thinking about it for a long time, just like putting some of the pictures in a book and just saying these
Mhm.
are, because I've made like maybe 300 books since I've
Oh, wow.
started, and all of them have a personality and all of them have a
Yeah.
name and things like that. And then what was I gonna say? So yeah, send me your links and I'll post it. What I usually do is I'll take a break or whatever and then do the thumbnail. And if you don't mind sending me a picture of a thumbnail.
Okay.
Oh, real quick, I just forgot a dream that I had. I was in the middle. I think this has to do with what's going on. There was like a parade on both sides of me going in a dirt road. And then I was sitting along with a few people in the middle of this in metal chairs, those regular metal chairs. All of a sudden, I turned to my left, and I'm not kidding, like hundreds of arrows coming toward us, toward this group, and they ended up killing everybody that was on the side views. And there was even unfortunately, some underage, like not adults,
Mhm.
and holding their stuffed animals or their pets. And
Yeah.
so I ran for cover. I told my group, come on, let's go. I found under a house, I found a storage room, and that was a portal. And then I wake up to come back home. And then also Teresa and I have been talking about Napoleon. So my great great grandfather might know hers through Napoleon, because my great great grandfather was a doctor, and Napoleon sent him to America because
Mhm.
because my great 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 grandfather lived in Corsica. So, and then later on, I have the Oppenheimer connection. So I'm thinking a lot of us, I say this only because a lot of us here and a lot watching have certain connections. There is no coincidence. And I'm glad
Right.
that Rebecca, you got to be here on your own, because I wanted to hear more about you. I'm so grateful that we did the videos with Wolf at the library. But
Oh, there's so much more to me that we haven't talked about.
yes, yes.
I also do chainmail.
Huh?
I also do chainmail art.
Me too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like chainmail.
Yeah, I just don't have any of my necklaces that I can find right now since I moved. They're still shoved in a box somewhere. So,
Well, whenever you get them out, send them to me and I'll post them. I'll share. I love to promote people. If you decide to write a book, or anybody that's watching has a new book that you want me to promote, because I do that on my Facebook. It's not just about me. I'm here to promote others, And I
Yeah.
know that you'll have your own YouTube channel, and I see you also doing readings.
Mhm.
Teresa and I do readings. I have my books too, the ones that I've written on Amazon. If you want to see Teresa or I for a reading, or Rebecca, please click on our links. And thank you for watching Code Breaker Real Talk. See you guys. Love you.
Bye.
Bye,
Love you.
sweeties.
Bye. See you.